Hello, hi. My name is Mayor Tracy Gant, and I'm here with my husband, James Gant. And we wanted to take a moment to tell you about our experience with the COVID-19. We both were tested positive, and I wanted to talk about the effect that it had on our family as well as our community. When the symptoms first came to me, and it started off with a cough, and it was a little irritating cough on a Thursday. And then on a Friday, it was as if a Mack truck had hit me. I felt really, really bad. And I thought that, you know, it's a cough. Let me kind of deal with it. But my husband told me, you better go get that checked out. So I did call my doctor and we got that checked out. I got that checked out. When I went there, my symptoms was a cough, as well as a fever and shortness of breath. So she took the test, which is an insertion of your. For me, it was my throat and my nostril, and it was very uncomfortable. And that was on a Friday. She told me it would be 5 to 7 days before results came in, and through that weekend, the symptoms got worse. As I felt like I had the flu, and I kept telling my mother, I think I have the flu. That Monday, she said, okay, you may think you have the flu, call the doctor. And so I did call the doctor, and they told me that my test came back. So that was less than the 5 to 7 days, and they came back positive. It came back positive, and it was like it hit me in my gut. I just didn't think that I would get it. I don't know how I got it. They could care less how you get it. The fact is you have it. And that's how I feel right now. I could care less how I got it. I have it. So they told me after that to have everyone in my household um, tested, in which my husband, James, he was tested, as well as my granddaughter. James, we want to tell them your symptoms and everything.
So, yeah, like she said, she got tested and on a Friday, and the test results came back on a Monday. So, when it came back positive, I decided to go and get tested. So I went and got tested on a Monday, and my results came back on the next day on a Tuesday. And actually, when I went and got tested, I didn't have any symptoms. I did have a sore throat, and I had attributed my sore throat to sinuses because I did have a nasal drip before that. So, like I said, I didn't have any symptoms. So, when I got tested, um, I didn't I didn't get any medication or any kind of treatment because they treat you based on your symptoms, which I had none.
And it affected us because both of us had it at the same time. So it wasn't as if one could take care of the other. I think my first few days, my husband was able to take care of me, but the doctors did not tell us, day one you'll feel this way or day two you'll feel that way. So we didn't know what to expect. My husband didn't know what to expect because he didn't have the symptoms. He took care of me as best he could. It was difficult though, but as the time went on, we both got worse, and that's the difficulty when you're in the home. And you might be by yourself, or you may be a couple, both experiencing the same thing, but you couldn't help each other because we had to quarantine. He was quarantined in the basement, I was quarantined in our bedroom. So we used to just call each other and check to see if we were all right. We didn't eat at one point until my granddaughter, who is 15, who was also tested, but she tested negative. She had to eventually care for us. And it was a matter of placing food outside the bedroom door or going down the basement with her mask on to take her grandfather his food as well. So it was a little stressful, I would think, for my granddaughter. She didn't know, am I supposed to cook or should I cook or not cook? What am I supposed to do? So that was pretty difficult for her, but we needed her, and I'm thankful for her. And definitely, I can see how some people lose their life because there's a lack of food, nutrition. Your body is going through a huge change. Wouldn't you say that that virus attacked our body from head to toe?
Yeah, so like Tracy was saying, like the first few days for me, it wasn't bad, and then after that, it just felt like I had a bad cold, and then I would say after about day 5, um, it went downhill quickly, and
Yeah, it did. It did.
so Tracy was experiencing like body aches, and her skin was sore, and
Headache,
headaches and dizziness, and then
eyeballs.
my symptoms didn't get as severe until 2 to 3 days after her. So after every stage she went, my stage would get more severe
Hmm.
2 or 3 days after her. So um,
But
yeah,
during that time, we called each other to check and see if we were okay.
yes, we did.
We ended up, he would call me from the basement to see if I was okay. I don't know what he could have done for me, or I would call him to see whether he was okay. And again, but that just shows the strength. And I think that was part of our recovery. I needed to be there for him, and I believe he thought he needed to be there for me. Is that correct?
Yes.
We were just the strength, working on the strength of each other, and I'm thankful for it. That's for sure. I'm thankful for the our granddaughter who kicked in. If anybody could tell a story, she probably could tell what she felt during that time because she had to be quarantined in her room. So, can you imagine having your grandparents suffering the way that she saw us suffer and then being quarantined as well? So, the recovery, I think something has to kick in to say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make it because your body is stripped apart. Would you say the coronavirus stripped us
Yes.
apart?
So for me and Tracy also, it's like once you go through it, and I mean your body really is taxed by the virus. I mean it attacks
We can.
just about every part of your body, and then you are so drained from the virus, you really don't have any energy. So the recovery was pretty much just relaxing and resting and trying to get your appetite back,
Yeah. Yeah.
to build up some body strength. And other than that, I mean, it was a lot of just trying to just take it easy, because you really, like, I would just walk up the steps, and even after the virus was gone, and I would walk
Get
up the
winded.
stairs and my legs would cramp up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And then
mm-hmm.
my doctor later told me that that's because of um, like from losing weight from the virus. It I lost a lot of uh,
Muscle.
muscle,
Mm-hmm.
so it just walking up the steps, my legs would cramp up. So
Difficult. Yeah.
the thing was to try to keep moving, but not to overdo it as far as the recovery, and then plus just feed your body, which with as much healthy stuff as you could to feed your body to get your
And
body
we
back.
lived off of what?
So, and during the worst part of the virus, we lived off of fruit, apples and oranges mostly, and
Apples and oranges.
plenty of liquids. We drank a lot of tea, a lot of
Yeah.
orange juice, a lot of water,
Warm liquids.
and like I said, we drank a lot of liquids, a lot of tea, orange juice, water, and just to keep ourselves
Yeah.
hydrated.
And
But
there was a time when, I'm sorry, there was a time And I had to finally call um, church members to say, look, we need some food. My granddaughter needed to eat because we couldn't cook. She's 15. And we needed to eat. You lose the sense of your smell, taste, and appetite. But I was on antibiotics. So the symptoms for me was, yeah, the symptoms for me was vomiting, diarrhea, dizziness, fever, coughing. It was extreme. The symptoms for my husband was extreme. He lost a tremendous amount of weight. His he was very weak. His voice changed. It affected his vocal cords. It was extreme. And I will say, as far as our town, um, as far as me being mayor, once I found out about my being tested positive, I ensured that those that I met with, which were three individuals, that I told them that I tested positive. After that, my town administrator did ensure that we, as the mayor and town administrator, just and the police chief, cut the hours of our employees. We shut the town hall down, and that was actually before I was tested positive, and we shut the town hall down. But after I was tested positive, we ensured that the town hall was sanitized totally from head to toe. I mean, we already had a cleaning company come in, and we ensured that the information went out to the community. That was very important to me, not the information about me per se, but the information about COVID-19. Wear your mask, wash your hands, wear your gloves, just take care of yourself because you don't know where it comes from. My husband nor I knew how we contracted COVID-19, and it didn't matter. What mattered was fighting it, winning, and living today. And I'd like to thank I'd like to say I'm thankful for this opportunity to provide this information and my husband provide this information because we want to help. There's nothing like going through something like we went through. It brought us closer together in order to respect life and to appreciate and love one another because we had to be there for each other. Our granddaughter, there's high appreciation. She's our hero, and I just want to tell everybody, please wear your mask. Take this serious. And James, did you have anything else that you wanted to say?
I mean, like Tracy said, everybody needs to be conscious and take this serious. I mean, you got a lot of people who doubt that it's real, and you have people that saying it's a distraction and all these sorts of things.
Foolishness.
I can tell you personally that
Personally.
it's real, and nobody wants to have to go through
No one. We don't want
because
anybody to go through this.
it was terrible. For at least 2 days, I can tell you it was so bad that I can't describe it in words. How
Neither
bad it
one
was.
of us. We tell each other stories about what we said or did because you can't remember. The pain is severe. The pain is severe. The delusion is severe. Would you say?
Yeah.
Thank you, Prince George's Suite, for allowing us this opportunity. And if we could ever do anything else for you, please let us know. And everyone, just be cautious. Take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.